right now. This is the 4th time I'm trying to broadcast. I knocked down the resolution, so it's not using as much bandwidth, but I've been suspecting that I've been running out of bandwidth pretty frequently. I'm on, Cox has tiers on the internet. I don't know if I'm going to still be here in a moment or two, so I'm waiting for after 1 minute to get into what I want to say, but I'm going to explain Cox real quick. Cox has different tiers. The tier below this is 25 Mbps, and can't stream anything with it. It can only have one device online at a time. Can't have phones on, can't have anything else on. So, you know, that's completely out of the question. It's not usable. 25 Mbps is actually usable, but that's Cox's lower one. Okay, I'm over a minute here. I'm going to keep explaining this, though. Second one is the one I have. Wait, did I say the one below this is 25 Mbps? The one below this is $25 a month. Now, I have to pay nearly $60 a month, $65 a month or something. Then after taxes, it comes closer to $80 a month for this one. This one's actually at 3 GPS. The other one's 1.5 GPBS. This one is 3 GPBS. And then they have other tiers above this. For over $200, $250 a month or whatever, they have Cox Ultimate Internet. What Cox Ultimate Internet is, I have unlimited upload, download, and it, like I said, it's over $250 a month. No. I really want to get away from Cox, but there's no other ISP here that's as reliable. When somebody comes to me and bashes Cox in the Las Vegas area, I want to slap them upside the head. You're a liar. I'm flat out saying it. You're a liar. If you have problems with Cox, it's because you have problems with yourself. It's the same thing I encountered when I lived in Pahrump. Everyone bitched and moaned about the local cable company when they kissed ass. So, hey, whatever, folks. Alright. Coming upon the 3rd minute here, I'm going to start playing. Now, like I said, the resolution is not good at all. But if that's what I got to play with right now, that's what I got to play with right now. It could be because of the weather. It could be the internet speed, upload speed, download speed, all that stuff is compromised because of the weather. It is, it's raining, snowing, and there's wind, all that stuff goes into play here. Now, what I want to do is try to go through all the characters here. I'm just having some fun. Wait. Hold my horses here. Something's not right. And I'll tell you what I think is not right. Sound options. Aha. Let's go ahead and cut those down. Alright. What is this? I have no idea what that was. Okay. Just go to normal mode here. Oh, as for people who bash other people who play games on easy or whatever, fuck you. Excuse my language, but fuck you. Because when we play on easy, we want to play. We don't want to be stressed out when we play a game. I'm speaking for gamers who just want to play. That's why I don't buy it when somebody says this game or that game is a big selling game when the game causes a lot of stress, maybe a little too much critical thinking. No, sorry, that doesn't work. Now, as far as Last Blade goes, and it proves my Last Blade 2 curse, I was explaining in these other streams how Last Blade 2, I bought this game on Dreamcast originally because I heard about it and I saw it on Neo Rage X. That's a Neo-Geo emulator that was fantastic. Not so much on modern hardware, though I have gotten it running on Windows 10 64-bit. So, and I hadn't had any errors running it there, but then after a while I realized I don't really play that many Neo-Geo games. I'd rather have the, I don't know what it is, 8 gigabytes back instead of leaving it on there. And I bought Last Blade 2. Oh, here goes from Ken to Ryu. I bought Last Blade 2 on Dreamcast long time ago, and the fucking disc, excuse my language, as elegant as it was, some reason the top coating was easily scratchable, and you know, considering that I have to grab the disc from the top, it got scratched a lot to the point it doesn't work. I was happy to see Last Blade 2 was available. I'm not sure where else it's available, but in America I saw that it was available on Wii Virtual Console. A little pricey, but it wasn't so bad, and so that made me happy, and I'm happy to see it here. And I bought it specifically here a few weeks ago on the PS4 just so I can do a broadcast. I never had another copy of the game except for Dreamcast, and to this day I'm miffed about a lot of the things of Dreamcast. Now, what I like about Last Blade 2, or Last Blade 1 and 2, is it was a rather serious approach. It's still anime, but it was a rather serious approach in comparison to Samurai Showdown's approach. Now, I don't know if these characters are in King of Fighters or anything like that. Why does he have an Elvis hairdo in the 18th century or 19th century? Okay, he's gonna block, huh? That can be cheap. Well, some people in fighting game circles might criticize this. You know what? If it gets the job done, it gets the job done. I mean, that's all that counts to me. Okay, so that came down to a quick draw situation. What's funny, not in a ha-ha way, in a retrospect, hindsight kind of way, is, now he's not blocking, whatever, is how aged the Neo-Geo games are. Oh, whoa, whoa, hold your horses there. I have a text message here. There might be some wind. Oh, do I have to cut this short here? Maybe not. I don't know. I've got to message this person. I've been waiting for their messages for 2 days. So, anyways, that's not your concern. You'll see a lot of pause and stuff, but you know what? That's life. As I said before, I don't get paid here, so I don't really care overall. Not yet. I'm exploring and wondering if I got a webcam or PS4 cam. Would that allow me to, instead of just my voice, you would see me as well? Is that what it's doing? Like, would I'd be somewhere on the screen? That's kind of the way I want to go, and I can't afford that equipment. Oh, got a response here. Let me, Alright, there's my response. Well, let's see. So, SNK must have faith in this title to keep re-releasing it. And, nothing beats playing this on actual Neo-Geo hardware, and unfortunately, I've only had that opportunity once. Now, when I said it wasn't in arcades, I meant in Las Vegas. I did actually play this on a Neo-Geo machine at a laundromat in LA many moons ago. But, hold on, I gotta respond to this again. And, where was that game shop located? In Koreatown. I don't remember which shopping center. This is in LA. Los Angeles. Well, I don't remember where in LA. I remember this one shop had a bunch of Dreamcast stuff, but then when I went back to LA, I mean, it's not like I can just get to LA whenever I damn well feel like it. You know, if gas prices were lower, I would actually probably be visiting LA twice a month. It's true. But with gas prices the way gas prices are, I can't. So anyways, I remember, yeah, this little place, they had a Neo-Geo arcade machine. They had this really confusing collection of Sega games that like had some Master System games on it. I never saw that. So I think it was a bootleg. I've seen that before. I've seen. I mean, it's now possible to actually make self-booting bootlegs for Sony systems. So, Sony's security is pretty good inside the system. Xbox's is overkill. Like texting. Okay, I'm not playing seriously. I don't really want to ever take games seriously. I want to take games lightheartedly. They're toys. These are toys. Electronic toys. And that's the best attitude to have towards it. It's not a religion. It should not occupy, unless you're in the business, and that goes for any business, there should be absolutely... Wait, what do I press here? No. What? Whatever. Get that message out of here. There, yeah. These are just toys. That's what I'm enjoying here is a toy. It's my business. I know way more about video gaming than anyone out in Las Vegas. With the exception of Tim, the owner of the Pinball Hall of Fame. He probably knows way more than I'll ever know about video gaming. But seriously, I can't be outmatched. The main reason is I still read my old magazines. And I also, thanks to retromags.com, I have downloaded many magazines that were damaged, missing pages, whatever. And I don't regurgitate the knowledge. I actually can share the knowledge that I have acquired. I'm gloating, but you know what? I have room to gloat here. I know more than you all ever would. It's a hobby that I really like. People read hobbyist magazines, so by me subscribing to Pure Nintendo, well, I don't subscribe to Pure Nintendo anymore. I try to buy one issue a month, and by subscribing to, what do you call it, Nintendo Force, those are my hobbyist catalogs. It's no different than my stepdad. His hobby is flying RC airplanes. Again, a toy. Requires eye-hand coordination, building of things, setups, appropriate tools. And he has RC magazines. Two different ones that he's subscribed to as long as I can remember. So there's no difference. There's no difference in a motorhead buying Motor Trend or Auto Tuner or Import Tuner, whatever. I don't know any car magazines. I'm just going off photographic memory. And a person works on the car and everything like that. But I notice that video gamers are just a little bit weirder, a little bit more narcissistic. Why? It's a toy. I don't ever get involved, and I don't get involved in a lot of things. When I'm at work, I dedicate myself to work. When I come home, I don't want to see anything that has to do with work. Now, I'm working at home at the present moment, but within the next 2 weeks or whatever, I hope to change that situation. If I'm working at an arcade, then I'm concerned about my arcade games that I would be maintaining. And I do have a short attention span and a constantly running mind. So that's why I carry a 3DS loaded with hundreds of games wherever I go. But it doesn't really matter. It's video gaming. Now, what I do take task with is people my age who are ignorant of video games. It's like, no, you're not. You people were immersed in video games at the time, especially Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Genesis, PlayStation, and 64. And when people forget stuff like that, that means they don't have any self-integrity. They forgot who they are, what they are. It doesn't mean a person. Now that I'm older, I only read Disney, Archie, and Looney Tunes, whatever. Those kind of comic books. Still read Turtles, though. That doesn't mean that I hate comics or anything. It's just I've grown into a point where I want a minimum to get maximum satisfaction. It goes same with games. This is the kind of games I want. I don't care the game is almost 2 decades old. This is the game I want to play. Or this is the other game I want to play, or whatever. Age doesn't factor into it. I like the movie Hackers. I also like Smokey and the Bandit. One's older than the other. Both are over 2 decades old. One is pushing nearly 5 decades, actually. So what? Gaming, video gaming, people have so forgotten everything. So when somebody's older, who hasn't forgotten the gaming bug, one guy I know became a major computer programmer at a major company. I'm not going to say any more than that. Why not? He loved gaming. You know what he's working on now? Well, I can't actually tell you that. But it's so cool. It has to do with 3D printing and holograms. I mean, that's video gaming in a different sense. And that's literally holding a physical toy. I saw a 3D printout I didn't get to hold it because I saw it in a photograph of a 3D scan. I mean, that's neat. So someone can take their love of video gaming and put it in a positive way. Why do I share my footage? Because I didn't grow up with any siblings. And by not having any siblings, I didn't have any of these games to play. Believe me, if I had just was a little bit more focused, I believe if I was just a little bit more focused when the internet emerged in my life, if I had just had the equipment installed and running better instead of so focused on whatever the hell I was doing, I really don't remember, to tell you the truth, then this would be better. I would have had footage on YouTube from day one, going back. I mean, I do have mountains of, or well, you know what, I'm just going to say mountains of tape of recorded footage, DVD, VCD, you name it. The way I really would have done it, and hindsight is cruel like this, but the way I would have done it is I would have had everything hooked up into, it was by Packard Bell. They were called Packard PBTV. These were video capture cards. The PBTV4 model. And don't tell me if I'm wrong and I got the wrong model number or anything. You know what? Excuse my language. Fuck you. But if I had that and I had a better hookup for it, I would have recorded everything into the computer. Or if I had a Mac capture, whatever, or an Amiga. I didn't have any of this. There's a long story about it, but if I did, I mean, yeah, okay, so I would have put up low resolution fights and stuff, but it would have been my fights. It would have been my matches. There would have been much more content to show you. And I would have loved it. But now I'm doing it this way, and this is the way it's going to be for the moment. I'm phasing a lot of things out of my YouTube channel, and in the end, it's going to be 5 days a week. Is going to be these broadcasts. You know, if I can, up to 7 to 14, but mainly 5 days a week. Sometimes I may not even be talking like that. I'm talking like this because I had a lot of coffee. That's a cheap Akuma move. I guess he's the boss or something. I don't know. Am I not able to select characters? Just noticed that. That's okay. Either it's specific to this version or I just never noticed that. So if you notice, I can actually play a game and talk. So not everyone has that ability, and not everyone should have that ability. You know, there's nothing wrong with being yourself. You don't have to be somebody else to be somebody else. Is that an umbrella he's beating me with? Oh, shut up. I am doing that. There's no fucking way he's getting through it, but oh, he is. That's fighting game programming. Now, that's an actual program code. Don't believe me? Dissect the code in any fighting game. When a person can do a jump and then the other person does an offensive move instead of a defensive move. That is an actual programming code. Because if I was playing against another person, that would never happen. But you don't know that because you never went into the code. I do. I've dissected all kinds of code. I did something what was it? Something was, I'm not going to reveal any of this because I don't want to get anyone in trouble at the game company who helped me do this. But, wow, that, I just saw that. It did not register my hit. I mean, it did, but it didn't. There was something that, this is an old game I took, and I went ahead and, what am I doing here? No. There we go. This game was compressed to 5 megabytes. I'm not going to say how or what format it was. I'm just going to say it was compressed to 5 megabytes, heavy compression. And I remember decompressing it. I'm not going to say where or what tools I used, but I remember decompressing it. And something like 2.9 gigabytes of data came out. I'm like, so I went to the compression programmer, or actually, what did he call himself? The data space engineer. That's what he called himself. And I remember talking to him about that, and he's like, "Oh yeah, we can cram terabytes into megabytes." I'm like, wow. And the other thing is knowing how to do it. Now, if you're talking like an old game system, pre-PlayStation, I'm not sure about 3DO programming because we did not have a 3DO kit, but I know that this is true for Atari Jaguar, not CDI, not laser active, unless the laser active was using Mega LD or Super LD ROM. So I'm not going to count that one. Yeah, it wasn't. It was. I know it was definitely Super Nintendo, Genesis, Nintendo, ColecoVision, and Master System, Game Gear, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, Virtual Boy, 32X, I think maybe the Saturn. I'm not positively sure. Anyways, it uses what's called tile-based programming. I don't know of any arcade machines that do it, and I'm aware of any home computers that do it. I can only talk about what I've programmed on or worked on, and so we're definitely talking about. I definitely know it's Genesis, Super Nintendo that was doing this tile-based stuff, and what it would do is all the graphics are contained in tiles, so that's why a lot of the graphics would repeat and stuff like that. To do later games, we're constantly changing backgrounds and stuff like that. That was remarkable. And in the Famicom, some of the chips were added to the cartridges and stuff like that. The N64, my experience with it was due to the cartridge limitation, or was it the system limitation? I forgot which it was, but like to do like texture mapping and stuff like that, even pictures, as a programmer and artist, the pictures would be taken and crammed into these tiny little, I don't know if they were 4x4, 8x8 pixel pictures, and then we would stretch those out. The best example of this, if you get the FIFA games, go ahead and look at the advertising. That's how that's done. Another example of this, though, where it's like startlingly evident, is Monopoly on N64. Okay, what's going on here? The end. Okay. Alright. Thank you. Resume. Okay. So, that's about all I can say about graphic programming. I definitely need a better controller for fighting games. This is nice and optimized though for the PS4 controller, button layout wise. I'm talking. I never cared much for Sony trying to skirt patents by not having a proper directional pad. Joypad is actually the right term for it, but I've never cared much for Sony not having that. But unlike others, I don't know what it is, but Sony gamers are douchey and mean. I don't know what it is. People I notice who buy the Xbox One seem to be intelligent, calm, rational. I have my reasons. Street Fighter V, King of Fighters 14. These are things I play. I don't know what's available on Xbox One. But I just noticed a lot of PS4 owners and PS3 owners before them, and PS2 owners especially, are just douchey. Genuine dude bro douchebags. You can quote me on that. And I have no idea why. Genesis owners were like that back when I was a kid. But it started with the original PlayStation when I was... the PlayStation came out in Japan when I was 14 and in the United States when I was 15, almost 16. And I noticed that when I was 17 and 18, people who had a PlayStation were just douchebags. They were arrogant but ignorant. I mean, it's one thing to be arrogant with knowledge. It's Howard Hughes. It's another thing to be arrogant without knowledge. All Hollywood celebrities that I've seen. That's not completely true. You got people like Mark Wahlberg, John Voight, whatever, Tom Selleck. They're not arrogant and douchey in my opinion. So I don't mean to generalize like that. But that's what I encountered extremely a lot in high school. It was just, I just couldn't believe it. It seemed like people who had an N64 or a Dreamcast when I got to college, like they were always having a good old time. So I don't know why that is, but it is. I noticed Saturn owners were also having a good time. It's because I imported many of my Saturn games. Maybe I didn't have such a bad time with it. I know people who I'll keep them nameless. So I knew these two brothers. These are two different set of brothers that bought a TurboGrafx 16. Or, well, they didn't buy it. Their parents bought it. And they complained about the games on it. And so I got around to talking to them, obviously. Because that's what we do in school. And I'm like, you had a TurboGrafx 16, so what was the problem? And they said, oh, well, there's no good games for it. I'm like, well, do you have Clax? No. Do you have Pac-Land? No. Now, those are good games to me, by the way. Do you have Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego? John Madden Duo Football? Loom? No. Do they have any of the shooters like Dead Moon? No. Did you have the entertaining but mediocre Vigilante? No. Did you import games for it, like Street Fighter 2, Gradius 2, Proteus? No. Did you have the CD unit? No. Which would, I guess, mean they wouldn't have some of the games I mentioned. Did you have R-Type? No. Did you have It Came from the Dead? I think that's a CD game, though. No. Consulting, Sherlock Holmes Consulting Tech? No. The Bonks? No. They had Keith Courage and Alpha Zone and a couple other bad games. So, you know, I'm just like, okay, so you had, you chose these games as children, and they were all bad, but you didn't choose the good games. Well, the reason was they didn't read video game magazines like Game Players or EG. I don't think Game Players was covering Turbo. Or Game Pro, EGM, or Video Games and Computer Entertainment, which later became Video Games. No, they didn't, or Turbo Play from the editors of EGM, I think. No, they didn't read any of this, so they didn't know that there are gems out there. The TurboGrafx does have some gems. Double Dungeons, Lords of the Rising Sun, or Land of the Rising Sun, I forgot what it's called. So forth and so on. I can't name everything off the top of my head. And of course, importing. I imported. We imported on the NES. We imported on the Super NES, Genesis. Now, I'm saying the gems are a lot less. There's Cosmic Fantasy on the TurboGrafx, but I think that's a CD game. So, I don't know. That's the best my knowledge can go to on all of this. But yeah, they didn't have anything good. I mean, like on 3DO, I had a lot of, well, it was considered good then. Doesn't mean it's considered good now. I had Sewer Shark, Night Trap, Supreme Warrior, Corpse Killer. What else? The Daedalus, I don't know. Well, I don't know. Tia Carrera was in a game. Lost Files of Sherlock Holmes. Escape from Monster Manor. Killing Time. Twisted. Station Invasion. Club 3DO, or was that the same thing? Samurai Showdown, Super Street Fighter 2, Yu Yu Hakusho, Sailor Moon, I still have those games. Eye of the Typhoon, Road Rash, Need for Speed, John Madden Football, Wolfenstein 3D. I don't know if I had no, I have Descent on PlayStation because I remember buying that specifically on PlayStation. What else did I have? Way of the Warrior, which was mediocre. What was it called? Shadow, the War of Succession. Blonde Justice, that was, well, it's a game, but it's not really a game. It was a porno. Foes of Ali, which was mediocre, but entertaining. Slayer, that's a Dungeons and Dragons game. And that's about it. But well, actually, I don't really remember what Mad Dog McCree, Crime Patrol. I had all of that on 3DO. I just, you know, it's difficult for me to remember. Dragon's Lair. Oh, I still have well, when I say I still have, I've either lost or sold. Like sometimes the prices would be too good. But I do remember I do have Dragon's Lair. What else do I have for 3DO? Stellar 7 Drax or something like that. Wing Commander or something. Super Wing Commander. Some golf game. Some other golf game. Primal Rage. Do I have Primal Rage? I think I have Primal Rage. Hey, that was cool looking. Did Fatal Fury 3 come out for 3DO? I don't think it did. Police Knots, but that wasn't in English. Well, see, I wasn't above importing games. I actually had a bunch of Japanese 3DO games. Yeah, I remember not Primal Rage. Whatever I just named. Police Knots. I remember that. I had Snatcher on Sega CD. I still have the manual. The disc cracked a long time ago. Now, about burning Sega CD games from the originals, so you have a backup. There's no copy protection on Sega CD, but you have to use Pioneer RDDA 60A, no, RDD 60A formulated discs. Those are the only ones that work properly with 3DO, Sega CD, 32X CD, and TurboGrafx CD, and Saturn and PlayStation. So I recommend it's Pioneer RDD 60A. They do not sell them anymore. They are extremely rare. But these are the best discs for backing up old games. Now, I say backing up. If you're using these to pirate or whatever, I can't help you. That's not my department. Sorry. You got the wrong guy. I won't help you. I'll have nothing to do with it. Absolutely not. I've worked in the industry. Nothing hurts more. I know that my Grumpy Bear Plays videos on this channel, even these live streams after they're done processing, I know are being stolen and posted up in places like Internet Archive and stuff like that. I know that. So, anyways, wow, that's nasty. I'm actually done here, so whatever. I don't really care. Nobody logged on. I don't care if I chased off my audience. You know, I don't. I've gotten to a point where I just don't care. And I don't know how long this bad attitude of mine is going to last, so... but whatever. So, you have a good time. Enjoy the day.